And about a year and a half after becoming good friends, we decided to write some songs together.
Whilst we were mixing like second Arctic Monkeys album, which Miles had played on a little bit, remember we sort of went in like a room next door and started something, and then it'd just be like weekends and stuff after that.
You know, when we started doing it the first time, we never thought of it as a band. It was everything that the band kind of couldn't be or something in our heads.
Innocent, really. It was like we made all these acoustic demos and we sent them to like Domino, his label. We had the same manager and as we still do. And we're like, oh, we want to make an album. And they were like, oh, you know, whatever, like, yeah, go and do it.
Miles was turning me on to a lot of records I wasn't aware of. At the top of that list would be Scott Walker,
David Axelrod,
Melody Nelson,
Early Bowie as well, like Ziggy Stardust album.
The way they're quite epic and dramatic was something new to both of us.
And it, like you said, it was kind of an homage to that.
and the Shadow Puppets seemed like it could have been like a 60s girl group name. But unfortunately there was already someone called the Shadow Puppets, so we added in the Lass.
After the first record and a short tour in 2008, we didn't hear anything from the band for a while. When asked about a possible second album, Alex and Miles would always answer in the same way.
Are you guys going to be able to get some time together to work on the last Shadow Puppets?
One day, I don't think it's going to be imminent, but, I'd definitely like to think we'll ride again at some point.
Until on New Year's Day 2014,
we wrote a song called Aviation.
We were writing maybe for Miles's next solo record. But there was something about that song that seemed particularly puppety. There was a moment on that, Lindsay, where the two of us experimented with a harmony.
And we made a little demo in Alex's rooftop.
Yeah, just in a sort of little home studio setup.
The colorama in your eyes, it takes me out of mood I tried.
There was there's something about this we just said.
Oh my God.
Aviation was the first song then. Is it also one of the key songs for you on the album?
Aviation?
Yeah?
No, it's the worst one. No.
First and
joking.
I heard in it like a suggestion of where we could take that project and pointed in the direction, and we thought, that's it, the new Shadow Puppets record is behind that bush. It was at that time that we thought,
shall we just go back in the studio and make another record?
Yeah. Should we call up James Ford, our producer and drummer, and get a party going again?
Shangri-La studio in Malibu? It's legendary, right?
James Ford had always wanted to go to that studio.
This place, we gotta go there, guys. There's all these knobs that I gotta twiddle. Oh, I gotta go there, guys. We gotta go there. I think now's the time. I gotta go to Malibu and do it. So we said, all right, James, enough. Yeah.
Stop it, Jay!
the song that in my opinion would play a key role in the future sound of Arctic Monkeys is the title track.
It was originally, it's going to sound crazy.
You're gonna think we're bloody mad.
So Miles was one day just started rapping the Coolio Gangster's Paradise song and got it wrong, and was like, so as I walk through the chalet of the shadow of death, and I thought, well, that's absolutely brilliant.
It went straight into the notes, that one,
so
David.
We sort of wrote a song around that.
So I love that. I'm having that.
And what does he bring?
I'm putting it in this song.
Although those lyrics remain in the final version, the initial incarnation
It was another song entirely with a very different feel.
But the idea wasn't the best, really, but we were fond of those words. We'd had these lyrics for a while of this other song, and then Al wrote the chorus and put it to these lyrics and made this little demo on an organ like the week before. And
By the bins down the alley as I walk through the chalet of the shadow of death. Everything that you've come to expect. I guess the coastal air gets a girl to reflect.
when Alex is on the Vox Continental, and he took the chords from the original, G minor and made it a G minor diminished sparkle.
This is really important because it was the first time Alex experimented with certain chords, which would later appear in many Arctic Monkeys songs. I actually go more into that on my Patreon, so feel free to check that out. It's a great way to support the channel, and you also get access to various stuff like behind the scenes and Q&As.
That's the thing with the keys, isn't it? Because it's not our first instrument, Martin. Sometimes we don't know what button we're pressing with our little finger.
There's certain types of chords, like these particularly like major seventh chords that like we used to see was like kind of quite ugly. Suddenly you're like, oh, what if we just try and experiment with some of these on the title track? And that was the furthest into those types of chord shapes and that zone that we went, really.
I just can't get the thought of you and him out of my head.
There are certain what I call indirect love songs, but also like this some sort of jealousy songs.
It's in there, but it's got a sugary shell around it with the rest of the other bullshit.
There's a line which goes tiger eyelashes, summer wine, goosebumps soup and honey pie. You seem to be enjoying yourself with the pen and paper.
Yeah. Before I wrote songs for that first Shadow Puppets record, every song I'd ever written had been based on like a very real scenario, or not too far removed from anything that had actually happened in front of my eyes. It was based on observations, experiences that I'd had, and there are times when the lyrics are treated as an equal kind of component along with the melody and what's going on in the music, and they become more atmospheric. When you get the three parts of the equation, you know, the melody, the chords and the lyrics, it's like, you know, what's going on in the chords and in the melody can make sense of the most like bizarre thing written down. Like Bowie, I suppose, is a great example of that. And when he sings like,
I'm an alligator, I'm a mama papa coming for you, I'm a space
written down, I'm an alligator, perhaps not that compelling, but succeeded by like a guitar chord. Everybody's like, yeah, I want to be an alligator as well, you know.
This new approach to lyrics is another aspect that carried over into the Arctic Monkeys.
Ghost riders in the red tan parrots, croc skin collar on a diamond top.
But I mean, the water starts coming up and you are buried.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I mean, we're about to drown.
Yeah, did they have to dig you out very quickly or something? Was it a big rescue mission?
We did like 10 takes of it, and you know, there was a guy on the side called Ken. His name was called Ken, and he'd like come over in between takes and be like, now listen, if you want to, when you want to get out, just shout Ken, Ken, and I'll come and like pull you out. And it was, you have to give him double Ken was like emergency.
Ken and
One
Ray.
Ken was just a sip of the coffee.
Yeah. It was.
Okay.
Or like scratch me nose.
Yeah.
The one thing we did have and have had for a long time was the record cover. Like that photograph of Tina Turner that's on the front is a picture I've had for a while, and it was always, if ever we had to do a second Puppets record, it feels like I want it to sound like that picture looks.
That set the tone for
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Once again, we can draw a parallel between this like visual inspiration and the following Monkeys records. For example, for Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino, Alex drew 6 sides as it was the 6th album, and then the hotel concept was derived from that. For the car,
I'd bought a 90mm lens for my camera, and I just recently moved to this place that was the view out of my bedroom window. So I like walked around that day, and then I went in my bedroom and I did that picture. Yeah, I think I just sent it to Alex just as I got this lens and it looks cool when you take pictures with it. It wasn't anything to do with, because we weren't really in that mode yet of even writing or recording, I don't think.
You know, in the Monkeys, often it comes from like a drum part or something, or a bass part that someone else makes up, and then I'll take that away. Whereas this thing is, you know, us two in a room together, you know, Miles having a musical idea or an idea for a lyric, and then we go backwards and forwards.
I think going into this second one, I remembered that the Puppets was the vehicle for me to, you know, try new things. I think what this project allows us to do is experiment. I think it's important to be able to have a clash of heads.
I feel like, you know, you could say anything to each other, you know, about music or not.
The sort of idea that we are friends with one another is not completely for show.
It's the way you wing it while you figure it